As you mentioned as well, the star in that moment has got to be Nat Phillips. He's not only putting a shift in terms of that goal, but defensively as well. He's been fairly impressive since coming in because of all the centre-back injuries happening to Liverpool. So impressive that fans are actually saying, you know what, he might actually put in a case as a starting centre-back for next season. Just a couple of tweets that came in. Nat Phillips is a keeper. I don't care what others are saying. He's good enough to be used in rotation at the back. No need for us to go out and buy centre-backs this window. No way Nat Phillips has more goals than Gomez. I'm telling you all, Gomez never starting again in the form that Nat's been in. Does he make it to the preferred centre-back pairing for next season, David, in your opinion? Does he pair with Van Dijk?
Yeah, yes. Straight away. I mean, when he first came in, I know he came in because of a cup competition, if I remember rightly, and he wasn't part of, I think, the Champions League squad or the Premier League squad, one of the two. But then once he was established in the squad fully, and he was sort of dropped out in preference for other defenders, I think Jordan Henderson at times, if I remember rightly, I was sort of thinking, hang on a minute, this guy he's not the most pretty on the eye. He's not going to be sort of taking players on. Having said that, he did set a goal up in the previous game, I think against West Brom, if I remember rightly, by doing a little jink and turn. But the point being is, he is a very strong defender. I remember his first appearance for Liverpool, within 30 seconds, he dominated Benteke, I think, with a header. And he was just like, this guy can do everything you want him to do defensively. If you've got someone like Van Dijk, then you've got the experience and the speed to back up. It's a bit like Tony Adams being a defender who's not going to be blessed with the speed. Correct me if I'm wrong, Gary, but I think Nat Phillips and Van Dijk would make a wonderful partnership. And if need be, you know, Gomez is high quality as well. Jurgen Klopp then has at his disposal, I think, top quality defenders.
Yeah, it's about having a blend at the back, isn't it? You know, two out-and-out defenders doesn't work. I think you need a more of a footballing central defender in there. So there's Van Dijk for you. And I agree with David. I think defensively he does really well. You know, when you look back to the game about when he cleared the header off the line from the Burnley corner, which, you know, it was headed back over the top of Alisson Becker, and who was on the goal line to head it off. But, you know, Liverpool, one of Liverpool's heroes tonight. No, I like him as a defender. And, of course, you know, well, he spent, a season, didn't he, playing in the second tier of German football, for example. So, you know, he's got a number of games under his belt now. So I think there is some potential there. It depends on how Gomez comes back. It depends on how Matip comes back. But I certainly think that he gives Liverpool some additional strength as a central defender that maybe, before he got this opportunity, they didn't realise they had.
Well, if they are all fully fit, Jurgen Klopp has got a lot of strength with the amount of centre-backs that they have. I mean, Van Dijk, Matip, Gomez, and then Nat Phillips. You also have Ozan Kabak, whose future, not really sure where he's going after this summer as well. And then the Ben Davies that we've yet to see in a Liverpool shirt so far this season. And then possibly, of course, you can, throw in Reece Williams, who's playing centre-back so far the past couple of weeks. There's a lot of, perhaps, headache in that situation, Gary. Is it possible to even keep all of them for Liverpool next season? Or realistically, how many can you see going this summer?
Well, I think most clubs would say we would like to have 4 central defenders, 4, you know, first team, first choice, top quality central defenders. Now, based on Liverpool's experience this season, 4 isn't enough, is it? Because they've ended up with a shortage of central defenders due to injury. Those were freak circumstances. So I'm sure Jurgen Klopp will be saying, right, I want to have my 5 best central defenders, and I would think that there's every chance that Williams will be one of those.
Who would be your 5? Who would be your 5, Gary? Bearing in mind as well, there's been a lot of reports linking Liverpool to Ibrahima Konate as well. They've seemed to be very interested in him. Who would be your 5?
Well, I think obviously Van Dijk. I think Gomez. I've thrown Williams in there. Matip, who's been a great servant for the club. I think he came on a free transfer, in actual fact, so what value he's provided. And then maybe the Turkish lad who's had a difficult time in many ways, but again, you know, you need to be given time. You know, just thrown in as he was in a Liverpool side that was under stress, wasn't playing well, weren't ideal conditions for him. So hopefully, Michelle, I've given you 5 there.
Yeah, you did. David, I don't know if you're going to go for 5, or do you think 4 is perhaps a better balance for Liverpool, and who would you go for?
Yeah, I think Gomez, Van Dijk, Nat Phillips, and I think if I was Liverpool, I'd be looking for a 4th. Maybe Matip, but experience. But I mean, if I'm looking for week in, week out, then perhaps that's where you go into the transfer market. Williams, the 2 Williams. I mean, one of them, Reece Williams, who plays as centre half. I think he's been shown that he's not quite at the level at the moment, and you wouldn't rely on him next season. With regards to Kabak, as you said, at the moment it's a loan deal, and despite some sort of indifferent performances, there hasn't been that consistency. The one thing we've had with Nat Phillips is a consistent performer week in, week out. The bit where he did the jinky skill, if I remember right, it was actually against Manchester United, not in the last game against West Brom in the Manchester United half. But the point being is that they've got someone who can do it at the top level, and now that he scored his goal, got off the mark for goal scoring, then he's actually a goal scoring threat as well, Michelle.